It was pitch dark. The kind of darkness where even your own breath feels too loud. I was standing in the middle of the woods, holding my rifle, listening. There was something moving out there. At first, I thought it was a deer, branches cracking, dry leaves crunching under its weight. But then, the sound stopped the exact same second I stopped walking. I aimed my flashlight toward the trees, nothing. Just fog. And then the light flickered. For half a second, I saw it. A tall, human-shaped figure, standing between the trees, completely still, facing me. No face. No movement. Just there. I blinked, and it was gone. But when I turned around, I heard breathing. Right behind my ear. That night, I thought I was hunting alone. But something was hunting me. I've been hunting since I was 16. My dad taught me everything: how to track, how to move quietly, how to breathe when you're about to pull the trigger. But in all those years, I never once felt watched in the woods. Until that night. It was supposed to be a simple weekend trip, 3 days alone in the Bitterroot Forest, Montana. I told my wife I needed a break from work, from everything. Out there, it's just me, nature, and silence. That's what I love most, the quiet. I left early, before sunrise. The fog was thick, swirling around my truck's headlights like ghosts. I parked near the old Ranger Trail, grabbed my rifle, and hiked in. For the first few hours, everything was normal. Cold air. Pine smell. The crunch of frost under my boots. But around noon, I noticed something odd. The woods were too quiet. No birds, no squirrels, nothing. Just that heavy silence, like the forest was holding its breath. I found deer tracks leading down a narrow path. Perfect. I followed them for nearly half a mile before they disappeared near a stream. But beside them, there was a footprint. Human. Fresh. Size 11 maybe, almost same as mine. At first, I thought it was another hunter. But I hadn't seen a single truck near the trailhead, and this area was miles off any public map. Still, I brushed it off. By the time the sun started dipping, I set up my tent near a dried riverbed. The temperature dropped fast. I gathered some wood and started a small fire. I was sitting there, eating jerky, when I heard it, a twig snap behind me. I froze. Then another. Same distance apart, same rhythm, like footsteps matching mine from earlier. I turned, flashlight ready, scanning the tree line. Nothing. Just endless trunks fading into black. I told myself it was the wind, maybe a fox. But the feeling didn't leave. That pressure in the back of my neck, like someone was standing just beyond the light, watching. I tried to sleep, but I couldn't. Every time the fire popped, I jolted awake. And somewhere out there in the dark, I swear I heard breathing. Slow, steady, and not mine. I pulled my rifle close and whispered to myself, "You're alone. You're fine." But deep down, I knew I wasn't. Because right before I finally dozed off, I heard a whistle. A slow, steady tune, coming from deep inside the trees. That whistle didn't stop. It came in short, broken notes, like someone was humming a tune they'd forgotten halfway through. I sat up instantly, hand on my rifle, listening. The sound circled around my camp, slow at first, then faster, like whoever it was knew exactly how far to stay out of sight. I shouted, "Who's out there?" No answer. The fire was dying. The shadows around me seemed to move with every flicker of the flame. I grabbed my flashlight and aimed it toward the sound. The beam cut through the mist, pale trunks, fog, empty space. Nothing. Then, something metallic glinted near a tree. I walked closer, my boots crunching over the frost. It was an old hunting jacket, torn, hanging from a low branch. Fresh blood on the sleeve. I froze. My flashlight trembled in my hand. The blood wasn't dry yet. Someone had been here, recently. I turned back toward my camp, heart pounding so hard I could hear it. But when I got back, my backpack was open. My things scattered. And there, on the ground near the fire pit, was something that made my stomach twist. A photo. It was a picture of me. Standing by my truck that morning, the same clothes, same rifle slung over my shoulder. But I didn't take that picture. I was alone. The edges of the photo were damp, smudged with mud. And pinned to it, with a small hunting knife, was a note. 4 words, scratched into the paper with something sharp. "You're not alone, Hunter." My flashlight flickered again, dimmer this time. I backed up, rifle raised, scanning every shadow. The whistling started again, closer now. I shouted louder, "Show yourself." For a few seconds, there was silence. Then, from somewhere behind me, came a voice. A man's voice, low and rough, repeating my words. "Show yourself." My blood ran cold. I turned around, nothing. Just the forest breathing in the wind. Suddenly, the voice came again, whispering from the dark. "You shouldn't have come here." My light flickered once more, and in that split second, I saw it. Eyes. 2 faint reflections, about 6 feet off the ground, staring straight at me from behind the trees. I aimed the rifle, finger trembling on the trigger. But when the light steadied, they were gone. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. Every sound felt like footsteps. Every gust of wind sounded like a whisper. And as the dawn finally broke, I realized something chilling. Whoever had been watching me, had been close enough to take that picture. As soon as the first light broke through the trees, I packed up. I didn't even eat. I just wanted out. The forest felt different that morning, colder, heavier. Every few steps, I thought I heard something behind me. Not footsteps anymore, but dragging. Like boots sliding through the dirt. I didn't dare look back. By noon, I was sure I was near my truck. The trail felt familiar, until I reached a clearing I didn't recognize. The trees looked wrong, spaced perfectly, like someone had planted them in a circle. And right in the middle, hung another hunting jacket, just like the one from last night. This one was mine. I checked my backpack, gone. My water bottle, food, compass, all missing. Then I noticed something carved into the bark of a nearby tree, my own name. In deep, jagged letters. And beneath it, the word "run." That was all I needed. I bolted. Branches slashed across my face, my boots slipping in the mud. Every few seconds, I glanced back, and each time, I saw movement. Not an animal. A man. Tall. Wrapped in a ghillie suit, almost blending with the woods. He wasn't running. He was walking, steady, confident, like he knew I'd tire out first. I fired a warning shot into the air. The echo rolled through the forest, and for a second, everything stopped. Then I heard laughter. Low. Slow. Human. I ran faster, branches tearing at my jacket, lungs burning. My flashlight slipped from my hand, rolling across the ground and dying out completely. Now it was just me, the trees, and that sound, boots in the dirt, getting closer. I finally saw the faint glimmer of my truck through the trees. Relief flooded my chest. I was maybe 50 yards away when something slammed into me from behind. I hit the ground hard, rifle flying out of reach. There was a heavy weight on my back, strong hands grabbing my shoulders, pressing me into the dirt. I screamed, kicked, twisted, somehow broke free and crawled toward the light. When I turned around, he was gone. No sound. No breathing. Nothing. I stumbled into the clearing, panting, my heart thundering so loud I could barely hear. The truck was right there, but the driver's door was already open. Inside, my radio crackled to life, even though I'd turned it off days ago. Through the static, a voice whispered, the same one from last night. You were never alone out here. The radio went silent. Then, from the tree line behind me, came that same whistle. Slow. Steady. Getting closer. The last thing I remember is the sound of the door slamming shut, not by me, but by someone outside. Next morning, when the Rangers found my truck, the engine was still warm. The passenger door was open. And on the dashboard, they found a single photo, a man in camo, smiling at the camera, standing right behind me.